Happy Sunday morning, and welcome into week 3, the secret menu of the DFS Deli, where we break down the contrarian plays to get you to the top of your DFS lineups. Let's jump right into it, boys. Welcome to early Sunday. Baker, you missed a good, fun game convention today with Chill and I. We had a blast there and came back and played some retro games that were absolutely hilarious.
Some weird games. Y'all played weird games.
How is that weird? How is NBA Live 98 weird?
Chill, what was the game you posted on your Insta story?
Was that Mutant Hockey?
Mutant League Hockey, yeah.
Yeah, no.
We played Mutant League Football.
Yep, got into some Mutant League Football. I think the most thrilling time was definitely either the NBA Live game that I hit the corner three.
Dude was out of bounds and just hit some three over the backboard and had to lose.
Only shot that he hit the entire game. Only shot he attempted the entire game. No refs, because we was committing fouls left and right. It was great. And then we got into some Kirby All-Stars. That was freaking hilarious.
So basically NBA Jam in live format.
Kinda. I mean, it was 5-on-5, but I mean, it was just it was a very dated game. I mean, all of them were dated, but there's 15,000 more games on this emulator I picked up, so we got a long way to go.
Oh God.
Yep. But now it's time to shift the focus from video games to DFS, and this is without question the chalkiest slate that I can remember in like recent memory, honestly. There's so many running back values, receiver values, and then everything loaded up to the top. So, I mean, this is where we're trying to differentiate our lineups, but this is it's going to be tricky. So, I'm glad you guys are here to talk through it with me. As you know, position by position breakdown. Do y'all see audio recording for me? I mean, yes.
Just making sure it doesn't show on my screen.
What doesn't show?
When you talk, it pops up.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't pop up on mine, so I wanted to make sure.
Either way. I mean, even if I don't upload anything, at least we talk for an hour, right?
These are facts.
So let's get right into it. QBs, as you know, the chalk looks like the position is going to be Kirko, which makes a fine cash gameplay, of course. Lamar caught a lot of steam over the week from when we talked on Wednesday. So, I mean, he looks to be up in the ranks for chalk. And then, obviously, on the other side of that game is going to be Justin Herbert, the big game of the week. But as far as low-owned plays, like last week, I was very high on CJ Stroud being a very deep tournament play, and that kind of came to fruition. But like this week, I don't have a grasp on it. I mean, I want to give you guys some insight. I want to give you guys some takes, but I'm a little lost. So give me some insight. Help the DFS Deli owner out with some low-owned plays that you're probably looking at this week at QB. Baker, I'll go ahead and start with you.
I mean, it's getting weird because, I mean, either the field is getting too sharp. These projections are just insane. I mean, I understand we have weather concerns in the Buffalo game, so that potentially takes a low-owned Josh Allen potentially out of play. Y'all were telling me pre-show that there might be some weather concerns in Miami. I don't see anything on my weather app, but then again, this is Google Weather, so if Google Weather, it's been wrong with me before, but if there's no weather concerns in Miami, Tua, I think, would be the play. Or he would be a contrarian play, a low-owned quarterback, as it were. I mean, my boy Gardner Minshew's also caught some steam. I feel like that Ravens-Colts game is just getting steamed up over the course of the week in general.
It really has. It really has. I mean, the total creeped up a little bit, but like, yeah, as far as our DFS touts, they are all about this game, like somehow, some way. So,
but I still think that as long as you're not playing Kirk Cousins or Justin Herbert, I think at the end of the day, when the cards turn over, or Pat Mahomes, like you're still going to be below the field.
But I mean, so I want to look at it from this perspective, right? So Kirk Cousins, without question, is probably the highest owned quarterback. But like, could the contrarian move be just to play Herbert instead? I mean, like you're missing out on like half that ownership, right?
I mean, it's the same ceiling though. Like they both have the same potential outcome. No, I
Right.
mean, neither one of them. If they luck box their way into a rushing touchdown, you're not banking on it. Neither one of them's giving you any type of rushing yards. So
No.
it's the same ceiling in the great atmosphere, all that fun shit that everybody's been talking about all week.
The Coors Field of DFS.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Chill thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have Lamar's ownership at?
On FanDuel, he is checking in right around the Kirk Cousins area. I'm sorry, the Pat Mahomes area. So 13%.
Okay, because on DraftKings, he's still well below several people. Per what I got. That's why I was curious.
Let's check it out. For me, yeah, it's on DraftKings. It's Kurt, Herbert, Geno, Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, then Lamar.
Yeah, I got Lamar coming in at 6% for large and small field.
That sounds about right. So I guess what we're saying is probably makes a more contrarian play on DraftKings than FanDuel.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, because I think on FanDuel, his stacking options are probably cheaper as well too.
Well,
I mean, taking a look here, once again, I didn't really think Geno was going to get that high of ownership, but I mean
he's cheap and he plays Carolina at home. I get it.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I totally get it from there. I mean, so I do like Geno. I mean, if all things considered, he would be a little bit contrarian here on this slate. I mean, and you figured that both of his wide receivers ownership isn't going to be high at all either, with people trying to jam in Jefferson, Keenan, Mike Williams. So again, I think that that's a viable option here. Baker mentioned Tua, and is Waddle ruled out for sure?
Waddle has been ruled out with his concussion. Yes.
All right. I mean, and then so like his target tree gets a little more condensed there. Again, I mean, I mentioned it on the first show, but again, Deshaun Watson, again, going up against, Tennessee. Tennessee does allow a lot of offense there to quarterbacks. If I got to pick one more quarterback here, that's probably, going to be contrarian and a little bit low owned. I mean, I guess it really depends. Like, if you're really afraid of the weather game and you just want to say kind of screw it and go back to Josh Allen, I mean, nobody's playing him.
Absolutely not.
You always have my permission to play Josh Allen.
And then my other one would be Dak Prescott. I mean, this Cardinals defense is absolutely terrible. They're in a dome. Again, you can stack him with Pollard. You can stack him with CD. I think Dak kind of becomes an intriguing play here as well.
Yeah, my only case for Dak, honestly, is I think he's in the same exact scenario as Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, in the blowout spot.
Yeah, they're both in blowout spots. But the thing is that no one's playing Dakota. Everyone's playing Mahomes. So from an ownership perspective, just take the other domination spot and just play Dak. Run Dak CD. You have a stack that's less than 5% owned.
See, I got ownership on Sedarius though. I don't know about you, but I got ownership on Sedarius.
I don't have any. Well, let's compare the numbers before we slide over to another position here. Where is receivers? Let's see, on FanDuel.
See, I don't look at that site. I don't know what that site is.
Money prints the exact same over here, bruh.
Money prints larger over here.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the thing. It just doesn't.
How is a rainbow made? It just does.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ownership on CD. Around the Steph Diggs range.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying, but if you pair him with Dakota, I mean,
yeah, you're cutting. You're
still a super low owned stack with a ton of upside.
oh, you're. I mean,
I got
anybody who has Kirko and Jefferson, like you cut that in half plus some.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
I got CD at 10% for large field, 6% for small field.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Kind of like where that's going.
That's not half bad.
That's not half bad. So yeah, if you want to get a little weird without making like a terrible decision and the price is right around the same as these other guys. Like, yeah. I mean, why not throw in some Dakota Prescott with a little bit of CeeDee Lamb attached to it? Your tight end option is cheap. Oh, Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
And I don't even think you need a run back, right? Like, you don't need a Cardinal.
No, I mean, I guess if you just wanted to go Dak, Pollard, CD, you could run it back with Ertz.
Yeah, but a lot of people are playing Zach Ertz for that floor because there's zero upside.
100. I agree with you 100% there.
There is zero upside, but I mean, you got the tight end target leader, so I guess, but we'll get there when we get there. But still, I don't know. I think I'm a hard fade Zach Ertz, to be honest. But again, we'll get there. So before you switch over to running back real quick, if you were to fade any quarterback in this chalkier group, who would it be?
For me, it'd be Cousins.
I kind of agree.
I think, I've already made my statements. No, for me, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Like, I don't think I'm going to fade any of them, if I'm being honest. But I feel like Kirk Cousins, his outcomes can, like, I don't see how I play a chalky Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I get it. Like I said, my reason for Mahomes is like it's the same deal. Domination spot, expensive very expensive. Your stacking options are expensive. Well, stacking option is expensive in Travis Kelce. The rest of the guys are just guys. Throw a dart at a wall. It doesn't freaking matter. But yeah, I mean, these guys could be off the gas so fast that it may not matter there's no unlocking a ceiling because there's no pushback. So could he go for 304? Yeah, sure. Could he go for 250 and they still win by 30? Yeah, sure. So I'm just going to err on the side of caution and say I can't pay that expensive price for Pat Mahomes. I would fade him.
I mean, the one thing about Pat Mahomes, the one positive would be in these blowout spots, he still has put up, he still is averaging around 27 DK points. So he can still get there in these blowout spots.
Fair. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to play Herbert. I'm going to play Cousins, and it has not changed. I'm still rolling with those two guys. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, like, I'm still going to play Kirk Cousins, but like, I mean, gun to my head, that would be the one to fade, because I'd rather play Herbert at like half the ownership, I think, basically.
Yeah, I think the move is just going there because, like I said, referencing week 1, everybody played Herbert, but the move was actually Tua. Now everybody's playing Cousins. The move is potentially Herbert. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So you guys ready to move over to running back? Or we got any other QB takes?
I'm running back ready.
I'm ready to run it back.
I am running back ready as well.
The only thing I'm worried about on this slate is still haven't gotten like the new, like we've got updates about the KC backfield. Like Pacheco is like, I could give it a go. So is he going to be like active or will he be like active? Is he going to get 15 to 20 opportunities against the Chicago defense, or is he going to be like active? And it's CEH and Jerick McKinnon. So like that's on the cheaper side, and bringing in so much ownership, waiting on that news, it's kind of going to be tough to build around him. So like I'm looking to go elsewhere. What we thought was going to be super chalky at the beginning of the week has turned into people actually having some common sense about them and actually not playing Jerome for it. So that's positive. And everybody's waiting on the flop leg spot for Joshua Kelly because he's all of a sudden the chalk. So a couple guys lost in the shuffle that I kind of want to throw out. Chill's boy Bijan, again, getting ownership, but not probably the ownership he should be getting. Ken Walker against the sieve of Carolina's defense. I mean, laying over, 5 yards of carry already at the beginning of the season. I mean, this is a team that let Taysom Hill rush for almost 100 yards on him. What happens when they actually face a running back? Again, he's getting lost in the cracks a little bit. If you're going all the way up top, like Tony Pollard's still getting a lot of ownership, but it's more so like I feel like his ownership and Travis Etienne's ownership should be swapped. Like I feel like he should be the overwhelming chalk. I mean, it's Houston. They're almost 10-point favorites. They're at home. Did I mention it's Houston? So these owners,
who are they playing?
Numbers kind of weird to me.
Who are they playing again?
The Texans.
Oh, okay. Thanks for mentioning that. Appreciate it.
They play in Houston.
I mean, I think probably the way it is
because Jacksonville.
I mean, the way it is probably because obviously everybody's just going to be in that Minnesota Chargers game, so it's really hard to fit those guys into that build.
Yeah, but so even if they're in the Minnesota game, why are people playing Alexander Madison? He's kind of bad at football.
Because that's the way to get different.
I mean, everybody just wants some sort of piece of that game.
That's the wrong piece. I think I'd rather take the Josh Kelly side and just eat the chalk and just kind of figure out a different way to build. But
I mean, obviously,
I think everybody's trying to figure it out.
Touchdown variances is a thing. So if he luck boxes his way in twice, those people are sitting there like, yeah.
I guess, but I'd rather not play Alexander Madison. I would rather just rely on the passing game.
I mean, trust me.
When you're
trust me, if Alexander Madison breaks this bitch, we're all just gonna be sitting here like, whatever.
Yeah, right. If I got the wrong pieces of this game or this game actually flops, well, everybody failed. Which is so on one spectrum of the thing with just the entire slate in general, if you were to take a bold stand on this game and let's say it actually does fail and you just stack somewhere else, you win.
Absolutely.
If you're bold enough to say, you know what? Either I'm taking a mini stack or an unowned portion of this, game, I don't know, KJ Osborne or something like that. Hawkinson to a lesser extent. On the Chargers side,
there is no.
They all chalky.
There's no.
They all chalky.
There's no unowned Charger.
Chalky. Yeah, Josh Palmer. I don't know.
It would be Palmer, right? Because if you go Herbert, Williams, and Palmer. If you're playing Palmer, then you're probably getting in Keenan Allen into that stack.
I guess. Keenan Allen's going to be less owned than Mike Williams.
That agreed.
So I know. It's a lot of chalk. So, again, theory-wise, so what if you just, played the chalk, right? And get, weird in, one or two spots? Could that be enough to differentiate your lineups this week? Will it be at the running back position? Because I got a couple guys that I do want to mention that are going to be sub 5% potentially that could skew it that way. So is that how you guys are playing it tomorrow or today? Or we just kind of getting weird other places? How do you feel about that? Chill, go right ahead.
Yeah, if you're gonna get weird, in that game, again, the two ways to get weird would be using the running backs from that game if you want to go a whole different route, or using some of these lower price running backs that are going to kind of go with, not a lot of ownership here. I know you and I were talking about Isaiah Pacheco. Again, that's the most intriguing play on the slate here. Again, We don't know how he's going to be used, unfortunately, but it does look like he's going to give it a go. Kansas
Again, we're
City,
give it a go. Like
right? Again, but nobody's playing Pacheco tomorrow. Kansas City has the highest team total here on the slate for just a little bit of over 30 points. In that realm, he's rushing for a touchdown. Like they're getting to 30 points and 60 yards on the ground for him. That's in the range of outcomes, in my opinion. Taking a look here at some of these other guys, again, obviously the ownership on Ford came down here a little bit. Would I say play Ford? Not really. But if that's how it makes your lineup work, then put them in. If Ford allows you to open up something somewhere else, I'm not against it. I don't like the play, but I'm not against it either.
right. Baker, how do you feel about? I think you said ill, so earlier, but this is like literally the spot where we always want to play Derrick Henry.
It is
when no one wants to play him. Sub 5% big dog is when you break out the big dog. Like I feel like this could be a spot where, like, again, the Cleveland's, we're at home. There's no other concerns here. But if this is what Tennessee does, if they somehow get a lead in today's game, I should say, they can ride the big dog. But Cleveland's defense has been exponentially better so far through the first 2 games of the year. But, if Najee Harris can put up 42 yards on us, imagine what a good running back could do against this team. Like, I don't know. But again, this is the big dog spot. We play some big dog.
I don't hate the call, but I don't know if I'll get to the play.
Why? You scared?
I mean, I'm not scared. I ain't never been scared.
Because if you scared, Baker, go to church.
In that case, I'm going to church tomorrow, I guess, maybe.
I mean, this is the time where we play. This is the time where we play the big dog. This is classic big dog. Like, I would not be shocked if he has one of those classic Derrick Henry slate breaking 150 and 2-yard games at literally no ownership. The only thing about low owned big dog is that I really wish he was in the late window.
Absolutely.
So we can have that big dog swaption.
Yeah, you could just play Tony Pollard and just swap to the big dog if Tony Pollard. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that would have been lovely. But he plays at 1, so I don't know, man. If you ain't for no big dog, I'm gonna play some big dog tomorrow. So.
I don't know if I have the stomach for it. I really don't know if I have the stomach for it.
I got a running back that I want to kind of bounce the idea off of you guys here. He's the direct pivot from Joshua Kelly and Zach Moss, who I have as the 2 chalkiest running backs on the slate.
Where did this Zach Moss thing come from? I'm still like perplexed.
They think he's playing Houston again? I don't know.
I would just, and I might play him, but like Gus Edwards. I mean, Gus Edwards, thoughts?
I don't hate it just because I feel like this Colts Ravens game is a game that I personally am going to be attacking. So I want to find different ways to attack it. So the Gus Edwards, play of that game is definitely an interesting way to get in.
He's less than. Let me double check here before I don't want to lie to nobody.
It's definitely under 5% on both sides for me.
I have him at 1.
Correct. I mean, he's 1% for large field, 0.5% for small field, DraftKings. And I mean, and Baltimore still has a pretty good team total here. It's currently sitting at 26. Actually went up a little bit, just by a quarter there, but still sitting on a high team total. We know where the bus stops.
It's only got 2 stops.
First downs.
It's only got 2 stops. Yep.
End zones.
That's it.
Again, I mean, like Gus Edwards can have like a Ken Walker game here. He could have 30 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And 2, yeah.
And
He's not. You're not wrong.
and that's already enough. Like, if you want to stack that Minnesota Chargers game and you just throw in the Gus bus, you're already different.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the way I want to approach it tomorrow, or today. God, it's Sunday morning, Sully. It's Sunday morning. You're tired and you got NBA Live 98 on the brain. Let me just.
You hit a great buzzer beater,
dude. I would.
Oh God.
The dumbest buzzer beater of all time.
But we all know who's quicker. We all know who was quicker on that B button, though. That
bro waxed my ass in Kirby, boy. Oh my God. I was happy for the couple times I got. It was running me over. I hit you with a little mallet. Okay, another name I kind of want to throw at you, like I said, on that logic of thinking is Kendre Miller. So he is slated to make his NFL debut tomorrow. There's no other running backs besides Tony Jones Jr., who is a practice squad guy, and Taysom Hill, basically. So, this Green Bay defense is not impressive against the run. So we could have a spot where I don't know if they want to ease him in, or they could probably just go full blown, here's 15 touches at his price, which is, checks notes, nothing. What does he have to do to pay that off? And it's not necessarily what he does for the lineup. It's what he allows you to do for the rest of your lineup. So I think if you want like a cheaper option than we were going to with Jerome Ford, I think Kendre Miller in a different spot before, this price goes up, because this is like, even though he was hurt, they knew he was coming back at some point. How did they leave his price at 4,200, 4,200, 4,300? Whatever the case is way too damn low. So thoughts, Kendre Miller, perhaps tomorrow? And don't say Taysom Hill. Don't say because Taysom Hill is there. I cut you so bad.
I was waiting for you to cut me off again. I continue to look at his name. I continue to look at this man's name, and I feel like him and Derrick Henry are the same player to me. Not in the fact of them being the same player, but can I pull the trigger on these guys? Because Kendre Miller is just a super thin play, in my opinion. Because it's not that it's not what he opens up, it's what I need him to do. Because if I'm going to try,
just ask Baker, he's $4,200. What does he need to do?
I need him to outscore Josh Kelly if I'm going to take something down. That's the way I would go into it. Can he outscore Josh Kelly?
Outscore Josh Kelly? Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Would you rather play him, or what about somebody like Craig Reynolds, who's right in the same price range?
I think my approach this week, honestly, and Sully, you're not going to believe these words coming out of my mouth, is
you're going to play the chalk like a bitch?
I'm going to be a chalk donkey at running back this week. I think that's the route that I'm going.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Ain't no way, boy.
I'm playing the fucking chalk. Kiss my ass.
At running back.
I'm getting weird at one spot, at least, in the running back position. And you best believe it's going to be either the big dog, Kendre Miller, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If I find out that Isaiah Pacheco is in, but not in. So, we'll see.
Also, I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't have more ownership, but Miami's run defense is not that good. Javonte Williams, I think at 5,500 here on DraftKings. Again,
you mentioned him on Saturday, yeah, or Wednesday. I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have more ownership, truthfully, but once again, he's the direct pivot from the chalk.
See, now
Miami's defense is not that good.
Now that's one not that good. That's one that I probably didn't look into as much as I should have, and that's one I could legit saying, okay, let me get off some of this chalk. Let me go to Javonte. I actually like that one.
Yeah, you do that, Baker. I'm going to play Kendre Miller. I'll take Javonte versus Kendre Miller right now.
I'll find somebody even worse than Javonte to take versus Kendre Miller's bum ass.
Ain't nothing. What do you need to be worse? Why?
Because I want it to be fair.
You gave me Amari Cooper versus Jay Jetta on freaking Wednesday. That ain't even fair.
And now with Amari being chalky, now I'm regretting it so badly.
Yeah, you should, bitch. Sorry about your luck. You guys ready to head over to wide receiver?
Yes, sir.
I think it's about that time.
I'll take Jerome Ford.
Okay.
I just
Anywho.
want to give you a shot. I want to give you a shot.
No, you're the one's going to be taking shots after these fucking bets you're going to lose. Ain't no doubt about that. But Baker, I will tell you one thing, and I will let the listeners know on a little secret, not even a secret, because I'm very transparent about the lineups that I play.
Yes.
So I'm watching football at Zach's house tomorrow.
I'll see you.
And I will be bringing a Snuggie or a what is those things called? A Happy Napper that my kids have.
The fuck is a Happy Napper?
You don't know what a Happy Napper is?
Like, I'm about to Google this. I don't have kids, bro. What the hell am I gonna know what a Happy Napper is?
It's an as seen on TV thing. Like, it's like got a little jingle to it and everything. But anyway, I'm bringing those products in the simple fact that by 1:30 to 2 o'clock, I might be put to sleep because I am playing 0 Tyreek Hill and 0 Justin Jefferson tomorrow.
Oh, so we've changed our stance from Wednesday where we had the lock button on Jetta. Now we've come completely off of him.
Yep. If he's going to be the chalkiest guy on the slate, I'm just going to remove him from my pool. This is exactly how I play, and I refuse to play any other way.
By the way, I'm looking at what a Happy Napper is. What the is that?
Hey, man, you roll it up and you roll it out. It's like a sleeping bag. It's like a little animal.
For anybody listening to this, please Google Happy Napper because I don't know what I'm looking at.
Listen, why are we giving away free
free adverts? Yeah, that Happy Napper better pay me.
I said Google it. I didn't say buy it.
Listen, we're still giving them a click, a view.
Right, Googling at least to buying it. I ain't about that life.
Is it bad that I'm not? I used to feel the same way about Devontae Adams when he was 9K and the same way about Cooper Kupp when he was 9K. Like, listen, he's got to get a lot to really put me to sleep. So I'm not against your idea either.
Hey, listen, this is the approach I've always taken. I did the exact same thing last week. I'm going to continue to do it. I got burned by Tyreek Hill week 1. He put me to bed. Simple as that. I profited last week because I X'd out Steph Diggs. I X'd out Devontae Adams. I X'd out whoever was on the top. No, I just refuse. And if they put me to bed, they put me to bed. But when I win, I win. Simple as that. I don't want to travel with the group tomorrow. So I have to find ways to get completely different in these games, in this game in particular. So I'm just going to X him out my player pool. Call it a day. The only lineup he's in that I have is our contest because of the rules.
Oh, the rules.
Yeah, I have to play Jay Jetta. Other than that, not playing him. So I might profit $4.50 tomorrow if Jay Jetta goes off. But it'll be in everybody else's lineup too. So I mean, I guess I won't. So never mind. But anywho, if we're looking to get weird at the receiver position, Chill, who are you looking to target at lower ownership tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're looking to get just a little bit kind of like off the rails here a little bit, I mean, I'm kind of taking a look at the Seattle guys. Again, both of the Seattle wide receivers are coming under 5%. Carolina has issues in their secondary. And honestly, with Bryce Young being out and Andy Dalton being in, that game could maybe get a little more competitive. I think.
I mean,
I think it helps.
It doesn't hurt.
It can't hurt. Right. It doesn't hurt.
So I do like the Seattle guys here. I'm not against it, but I'm trying to think if it's that time of the night.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. You should just take Stephon Diggs home and call it a day. I heard he was hot.
To Stephon Diggs, right?
I'm just saying, like, there's no ownership on this cat. This is Stephon Diggs we're talking about. This is like one of the chalkiest receivers from just last week. And now the following week, y'all want to play him? Because he's going against Washington that just got cooked by Chef himself, Russell Wilson.
He didn't get cooked. It was
he was cooking.
That was a dumb luck Mary.
Hey, the stats don't change.
Hey,
There ain't no asterisks by it.
oh, there's an asterisk in my record book. Mine.
They got cooked by Russ. Why can't Josh Allen do the exact same thing with no own Steph Diggs?
Because there's weather. Duh.
You in there?
You know what?
You
Actually,
fucking weather.
Love you too, buddy.
Actually, so I think, I mean, honestly, so I'll just call my shot right here. So it's that time of the night where it's getting real low. It's late. You know, you had a couple drinks. You might not be seeing straight.
You just described
you know,
Sully.
But you want to lay that hammer down, you know, and you're looking for anything to hammer. You see her. She's really far across the bar. You take another shot. You close your tab. And, like, you realize, like, you're going to wake up in the morning and pray to God she went home, caught the cab early. This may be the ugliest fat chick at the bar. I mean, this is ugly. This is really ugly.
I can't even put my finger on like who this man's about to say.
I am legitimately
the fat
scared
chick
right
at the
now.
bar. The fat chick at the bar is a former Minnesota Viking wide receiver. It's Adam Thielen. It's Adam Thielen.
I would have been satisfied if you said like Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton.
Nope.
This dude said Adam Thielen.
This segment is built for shit like this. It's Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen's coming in at 3,900. He actually gets the upgrade at quarterback for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton can pepper this man with targets. On DraftKings, at least, it's not going to take a lot. Going up against a Seattle secondary that's not very good. It makes it for an easy run back if you do decide to stack Geno. Because nobody's playing that at all. The Seahawk wide receivers or Adam Thielen makes you different.
That's like a trend at the beginning of the season. Like 3 weeks in and no one's played Seahawks wide receivers.
And listen, we just watched that Seattle secondary get cooked. He's at 3,900, and so the 3,900 is not the worst punt play there. And again, with Andy Dalton, I do think it's a pretty significant upgrade because Andy Dalton could just lock on him and just hit that man with, like, if he gets 6 receptions for 50 yards, is that not in the realm of his possibility there?
Oh no, that sounds like a floor.
So
that sounds like a floor. I don't know if you can get a ceiling game out of him, but hey, you never know.
At that point, you're just if you get the ceiling game out of him. I mean, what do you think his ceiling is? Maybe like 20 points?
What he did on Monday?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the ceiling. That's all the gas he's got left in the tank.
But yeah, so that's her tonight.
I'm not mad at it. Baker, thoughts?
I was expecting something so gross it was gonna make me log off.
Is Adam Thielen not gross?
It's not as gross as I thought you were about to get. I legit thought you were about to get just so far in the weeds to the point where I'm logging off. I'm going to bed. I'm done.
Braxton Berrios, man.
I mean, actually, my other play in the weeds would have been JSN.
I would have been fine if you said like Jonathan Mingo.
I think Mingo's. I don't think he's good at football.
I mean,
but
he's just on the field all the time. That's the only thing that you can say redeeming about him.
Yes, he's on the field. Yes, facts. At least he's on the field.
Yeah. Anything else? You got nothing.
But yeah, it would have been JSN because Will Dissly is out. That will take Seattle out of their 2 tight end sets and play more 3 wide receiver sets. And it's not like JSN isn't getting targets. Again, we're going up against a Carolina secondary who's injured right now. And it makes your lineup unique, especially if you want to play him with Geno. If you don't want to play both higher price wide receivers, just playing like Lockett and JSN or DK and JSN, get you way different.
Yeah, I mean they might ease up on DK Metcalf a little bit this week too because of the rib injury, but
I mean, if you
I don't
take,
mind it.
if you're taking a look, again, week 1, 5 targets, week 2, 6 targets. Again, is he putting up like games? No, but I mean the targets are there, and again, they're good. They should be playing more 3 wide receiver sets.
I like it. Bake, anybody weird?
I mean, even though we talked about this game 15,000 times, myself specifically, I'm gonna say them again. Zay Flowers still doesn't have much ownership, and with no Odell Beckham, can I interest you in a Master Bateman?
No.
I'd rather play Andrews. Truthfully,
Andrews, Flowers. That's it. End of list. Done here.
I would rather play Lamar, Gus, and Andrews, or Lamar, Gus, and Zay.
I mean, we brought it up on Wednesday, or I brought it up on Wednesday, how this Colts secondary is just absolute trash.
It's not good. You're not wrong.
Master
Again,
Bateman's going to be on the field the entire game. Like with no Odell Beckham, it's going to be, and strangely enough, Nelson Aguilar is going to be on the field a decent amount too. But I'm not going that far in the weeds with Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, I think it's Zay Flowers week, y'all.
I mean, trust me, I'm going to have probably way too much Zay Flowers in my life, and it's going to make me sick to my stomach.
You and I both.
But when it comes to players being out,
both.
We've seen how much this Green Bay secondary specifically can struggle without Jair Alexander, who has been ruled out. So I think both these New Orleans wide receivers could be interesting, both Michael Thomas and Chris Olave. And
Jair is ruled out.
Yes, he is. And the second, and like especially if you go the route of Olave, you've 100% made yourself just off the chain weird just because of the price point that he's at. He's right around he's in between Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. He's in that price range to the point where you're weird. You're different. Nobody's having that duped. So,
or you can just play Kendre Miller, and then Kendre Miller breaks the slate, and there's no points left for Chris Olave.
Or no.
All right, we'll see.
So Sully, you don't want to play that Derek Carr double? Relive your glory days?
How much money would you sacrifice to the gods?
Does Kendrick Miller have receiving upside? I don't really know the player.
We're gonna find out. He's a rookie. He's going to make his NFL debut tomorrow, so I don't know.
I mean, he profiled as a receiving back in college coming out of TCU.
Perfect. There's your double.
So,
dude, just play Olave, Carr,
Derek
Miller,
Carr.
Taysom Hill, and you got all the Saints touchdowns.
Brian. Derek's knocking on the back door.
Should I let him in?
Oh my God.
I'm scared.
That is such a disgusting lineup. I will say one last receiver because I mentioned him.
It is pretty gross. It's pretty disgusting.
One last receiver. I briefly mentioned him. With the ownership on Jerome Ford kind of falling off and Amari Cooper becoming chalky, which made me sick to my stomach. I'm starting to lean off of Amari, as I said on Wednesday, and kind of getting onto Elijah Moore. Obviously, we talked about it ad nauseum, how much of a funnel this Titans defense is to the pass, and it seemed like throughout the first 2 weeks, it's specifically been players in the slot as well. So I think that leads a little bit more towards Elijah Mitchell versus Amari Cooper, and I'm saying you also have that potential leverage over whatever ownership you're going to have on Jerome Ford and Amari Cooper. And he's cheap.
Elijah Mitchell doesn't play for
Elijah Moore. Looking at my fantasy team for a second.
I got a question.
Fantasy team.
I do got to. I mean, again, this is the show for gross plays, but does Marquise Brown go out of the slot for Arizona, or is he mostly outside?
He moves around.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Trayvon Diggs injury,
no.
I mean,
no.
if you're playing a Cowboy stack and you don't want to use Ertz, Marquise Brown's 4,900.
Here's my main reason I say no, because I actually thought about that. The Cowboys inside are just as good as they are on the outside. That's what's made this defense so good the first couple of weeks. They're manning you up outside, trying to force you to inside, and they're everywhere inside as
But
well. So
I get it, but like with the loss of Diggs,
They're scary.
I mean,
scary
I
defense.
still think that inside they're going to be fine. I get where you're going. It's like, oh, the number 2 corner, or
well,
saying,
Diggs is the number one.
now with Diggs being gone,
Correct.
Gilmore's now the number
Correct.
1. So like
Okay,
potentially
I get what you're saying.
potentially getting the number 2 corner on him and things of that nature. Him going into the slot to get away from Gilmore. I still think this Cowboys defense. I just don't see any upside unless he breaks something stupid.
Again, more or less would be from a target standpoint because if you figure Arizona's going to be trailing in this game, like you could could be a garbage time hero here. I mean, even in the game against the Giants, he had 10 targets.
I mean, the king of alopecia, he's locked into Hollywood and Zach Ertz. That's it.
A lot of Zach Ertz.
So much Zach Ertz.
Too much Zach Ertz.
But Hollywood's getting targets. Like alopecia himself is looking at Hollywood. Absolutely. If this was a better matchup for him, I would probably be in on Hollywood.
Again, and I think maybe one more thing we should address here is the Miami wide receiver room there, with Barrios and
Barrios.
Was it Craycraft?
River Craycraft.
Gross.
Are you playing either one of them?
No.
Because I will say, like, I think they did say like the most optimal stack right now is, again, and now this was maybe a day or two ago, was Tua, Hill, and Durham Smythe.
Oh,
Durham's going to have the most ownership on him he's ever experienced in his life.
The fact that he's projecting where he is right now makes me sick to my stomach, and I'm going
guys
to
love me. You love me.
I'm going
All
to
of
be
you
part.
love me.
I am so going to be part of that ownership on Durham. It's going to make me sick.
I mean, those people are going to finally enter a room and just see me and Sully with all the dust and the cobwebs.
Damn right.
Be looking like that Saddam Hussein picture when when he's coming from out of the rubble.
For sure. For sure. All right. Let's go over to the position that we're contractually obligated to talk about, which for some reason I don't want to talk about.
We're not contractually obligated. We can skip
it.
We can skip it.
No, we're obligated. Because there'd be that one guy in the comments be like, "Hey, you guys didn't talk about tight end this week."
I noticed that you didn't say anything about tight ends this week.
Why didn't you bring up Zach Ertz? Why didn't you bring up Kyle Pitts?
Dude, I'm not playing Kyle. Redacted. I'm not playing Kyle Pitts, man. This is not going to happen. Ever. Ever.
You gonna really punt the position and play one of the Washington tight ends?
Oh no!
Well, Sully,
hard pass.
Since you're gonna be at Zach's house, you get to watch Zach's boy.
Oh my god,
he is all about some Cole Turner, bro.
He did mention that to me.
2,700.
Yeah, I'd play Durham Smythe.
I can't. I don't want to play any of these bums that are like the only non-bum on the less than 5% list for me is probably Dalton Kincaid. And again, you could probably get away with a cheap Josh Allen stack with Diggs, who nobody's playing, Kincaid, who nobody's playing, Josh Allen, who should be played significantly more than he already is. Don't say the word weather, Baker. I will lose my shit.
I wasn't going to say a word. I literally was sitting over here looking at things. But since you mentioned that, it's probably a weather thing.
Weather. But yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned him like in a joking manner, but like Taysom Hill has no receiving floor, but he probably in this game has a rushing floor. And his price is sensible enough at 3,300 where you're like, we saw last year one matchup, he actually broke the slate by himself. Not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but it's there. It's an option. This is the show we can talk about him on, so it's Just throwing it out there.
There should be no show that we talk about him on. That's the real show. There's no show.
Baker, let's rewind the tapes from last year. How many times did I mention Taysom Hill? At least once a week.
Way too many.
At least.
No wonder the ratings were down last year. No wonder the ratings were down last year. It's like, this dude keeps talking about Taysom Hill. We're not listening to this guy anymore.
Baker.
That's my name.
Taysom Hill is going to get a hold of this show and be like, bro, I'm so glad you supported me through all these years. Like, you're one of the few DFS touts that are all about this life. I love you. And then he just like gives me all this shit. It's going to be amazing.
So, Taysom Hill's mother has a fantasy podcast and she doesn't even tout her own son.
Does she really?
I'm totally BSing.
That would be awesome.
I'm totally BSing.
That would be awesome. Dude, that would be amazing. Anywho, any other tight ends that you guys want to discuss?
I mean, Mark Andrews' ownership is going to be pretty low.
I mean, clearly, I agree. I'm in on that. That's my game this week.
I mean, but
That's your game?
I mean, let's be honest. Like, Travis Kelce's playing the Bears.
That's scary.
I mean, if you're getting
Scary.
if you're getting the number one wide receiver for 7,200 and the highest team total, it's probably still pretty cheap.
So here, I have a question for you people.
Yes.
If I tell you Mark Andrews, who I like, or I can get a piece of the game of the week, same own percentage, where are you going?
The game.
Right now, from my projections, I don't know what you people are seeing, but from what I'm seeing, TJ Hawkinson and Mark Andrews are projecting the same right now. If they're anywhere close, give me TJ Hawkinson and I just run away with it.
Yeah, I would just take TJ Hawkinson at that point. If that's the access point to the game, sure.
Yeah, I have them at about the same as well.
So yeah,
that's why you just do Cousins, Addison, Hawkinson. You're different.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter what charge you play on the other side; they're all popular.
Yep, doesn't matter. Play the cheapest one.
And that's like you probably just play Keenan, I would think.
But
I mean, Hawk is not cheap.
I just look at it this way. Even though he's not a contrarian play, his own percentage makes him contrarian for the game that everybody's attacking.
It's more of a pivot, which is fine. That's what we talk about on this one as well. So a pivot is perfectly fine, and it makes sense.
And Durham Smythe, of course.
Durham's the chalk, so we're not here to talk about that bum.
That's your boy.
Oh, he's a member of the brand. A proud member of the brand. But he's chalky. There's two members of the brand that are chalky this week, and I don't appreciate it.
People like your brand. What can I say?
I mean, listen. This might be the most optimal time you could play the brand. Barrios is viable.
I can play Barrios, Taysom Hill, Durham's
is fine. Tony Pollard.
Gino. Derek Hit. Oh my God!
Like Sully's gonna have a brand team. That's going to be a team.
I'm gonna look up the entire brand on one team this week. Holy crap!
This might be the time where it's actually optimal.
It's gonna be the weirdest team because it's gonna be nothing but one-offs, but it's just gonna be like this team wins.
Yeah, it's gonna be nothing but one-offs. Like, why do you have Taysom Hill in the flex and Durham Smythe in your tight end spot?
Sully, please throw the brain of the million maker on FD, please.
Done. Absolutely, I will do that. No problem.
If you win $1 million, you're welcome.
I'll enter it after the show when I start post production. I got you. Anybody else on tight end? I mean, you can always punt with some Parham. It gets you in the game. Again, more snaps than Joe Everett last week. I'm just saying. It's the literal cheapest way to get in that game.
The legit cheapest way is the defense.
Okay, position player. I don't know. I think the Chargers defense is more than Parham. Hold on.
They're the same.
Suck it. Begins the dreaded transition to defense. I'm not a fan of playing too much off the wall tomorrow. But as I mentioned, I would probably lean towards the Titans if you want to get low owned because Deshaun Watson is ass.
Tell us how you really feel.
You don't. That's another podcast. It's for another day. It's just for another day. It's for another day. I can't do it. But Chill, what kind of low owned defenses you got on your radar?
I mean, for me, I would take a look here at the Seahawks defense. The Titans defense is a good call. If you're looking for more of an expensive contrarian defense to play, probably looking at Jags Dolphins. Either one of those two defenses, I think, would be fine.
I mean, at this point, can't you pay all the way up to be contrarian and get the Cowboys defense at 4,400?
I think if you're doing that, you're not playing the Minnesota Chargers game.
You could still play it.
You're not stacking.
One of your running backs is Kendre Miller.
I'm not against it. I mean, the Cowboys defense can get you 20. Could be that afternoon hammer.
Yeah, the hammer of the defense, which is already in the afternoon slate because the Chiefs defense is going to break the slate tomorrow. I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
Your hatred of Justin Fields is it's up there.
It's not a hatred of Justin Fields. It's just that he's bad at football.
Thank
you. If you think the speak from this week, he's actually going to run more.
I'm just going to go out there and play. That makes things significantly worse. I mean, the defensive coordinator exiled. 2 of their starting tackles on IR. Their stadium got robbed for $100,000 worth of equipment.
Bruh.
Not even their fans like the Bears. Their team doesn't like the Bears. Their coaches don't like the Bears. Justin Fields don't like the Bears. They're going to get killed.
And don't forget, we still have the revenge narrative in that game.
Yep. Yeah, we do. Matt Nagy.
My most hated coach.
I might play Patrick Mahomes. They're going to run it up tomorrow, aren't they?
Not with Matt Nagy at OC.
Matt Nagy's going to be like, no, you stay on the field. You stay. Coach, it's 50-0. Stay the fuck out there. Run this play.
Super Bowl winning coach.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. He couldn't win one as a head coach.
Super Bowl winning coach.
That's perfectly fine.
Indeed.
Coached his quarterback to MVP as well.
He was the quarterback's coach. He wasn't an OC. You're way down the pecking order. Don't care.
It doesn't matter. It means he's still the guy who's coaching the quarterback.
I mean, he literally has the greatest quarterback, arguably, of all time. Shut your fucking mouth.
Listen, still coaching the MVP.
Matt Nagy.
The revenge game.
Matt Nagy is
Matt Nagy
so,
revenge
Matt
game.
Nagy is so trash.
Stop it. Stop it.
Matt Nagy,
right,
Matt Nagy is worse trash than Deshaun Watson is, in Sully's opinion. Sully's opinion of Deshaun Watson's trash, Matt Nagy is worse than that, in my opinion. Just saying.
Damn, you hate Matt Nagy. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, like I said before, we go ahead and wrap it up for the night. You know the drill. Like, subscribe. It's down there. We appreciate all the love from the last podcast on Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in for the Sunday morning show. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your bagels or whatever you're consuming for the morning. And then we wish you the best of luck in your DFS lineups. But before we get out of here, the bold call of the week. Chill. What's bold?
I think the
people need to know. The people need to know the certain player that you're calling. Not just the fat chick at the bar that you sprinkle in. No. We want this bold take in their lineups to smash tomorrow. What you got?
I think my bold call of the week, I'll just stay at the running back position. The bus is going to stop 3 times.
So 3 first downs. Got it.
No, he's talking about that other stop at the end of the line.
So I got Gus Edwards going to go for 3 touchdowns.
You're gonna piss off a lot of Lamar stacks tomorrow.
I think Lamar will still get there, though.
You're gonna piss off Zay Flowers folks too, because we're all about some Zay Flowers tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
I mean, listen, if the Ravens score 35 points tomorrow, Gus Edwards could have 3. Lamar could still get a buck on the ground. Listen, Gus Edwards could have 30 yards, 3 touchdowns.
This is true. I mean, I don't see Gus Edwards rushing for over 100 tomorrow, because that's just not him.
If he rushes for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns, he broke the slate.
Oh yeah, that's GG no read. You need Gus Edwards.
That is breakage. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Bake, what you got?
I'm giving you a Millie Maker take.
The brand? You want me to name every member of the brand real quick?
No.
So the
no
listeners
no,
know.
I do not. For fuck's sake.
Baker, it's the brand.
Your Millie Maker winning quarterback will be Gardner Minshew.
You just have so much of an affliction for this cat, man.
Absolutely.
He ain't winning a damn Millie tomorrow. Shut up. Ain't gonna happen.
Okay. It
ain't gonna happen.
When
bro.
Minshew Mania strikes again, Sully.
Again, for your sake and your lineups and everybody's listening, is mission Gardner Minshew. I hope you win. I hope you win. I hope you win. I actually have 2 bold takes. So the first one I alluded to earlier in the defense segment. The Kansas City Chiefs defense will score over 25 DraftKings points tomorrow.
I guess I better play the defense, Minshew, and Gus Edwards.
That's a weird lineup already.
And then I take back what I said from Wednesday. So I apologize to the listeners that took my bold take that Jay Jetta is going to beat Tyreek Hill's receiving yards from week 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Jordan Addison that does it.
Interesting.
Yep.
One. So Jordan Addison's going to have more receiving yards than Tyreek Hill did in week 1.
Yep, and significantly less catches. Significantly less.
Okay.
Watch.
Okay.
Watch. I just got to get bold out here. Because I don't want to make a bold call that I'm not playing myself because I 180'd as the week went on. So again, I want to be transparent to everybody that's listening. I'm not going to recommend a play that I'm not going to play myself. I'm not saying don't do what I do. Because again, you can snuggle up in your happy napper at about 145 when Jay Jetta gets in for the second time and puts that ass to sleep. Just like he will with me. I'm gonna just shake y'all hand, you and Zach's hand, and be like, all right, man, I'm going home. I don't wanna do this anymore.
Well, just make sure you play Jay Jetta in cash and you're good.
Baker, do you know when's the last time I made a cash lineup?
What, 2004?
Whenever 2 years before Aaliyah was born.
What is she, 6?
So at least 6 or 7 years.
Is she 5 or 6?
She's 6.
So 8 years ago?
Yeah. She turns 7 next month.
Goodness gracious.
I know. 7-year-old. Wow.
You're old, bro.
Thank you. Chili, didn't we just have this argument, not even an argument, this discussion last week? When I'm fresh out the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Way younger than you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Way younger than you.
For sure.
Well, y'all ain't seen me fresh out the chair in how many years? Because, you know what I'm saying, all this.
You don't need to be fresh out the chair because you're fucking old, bitch. I drop some years when I get in the chair. So, saying.
That is true.
Well, it probably doesn't help with all this hair. All this hair make me look a little bit older.
He's got hair.
Nah, you look old because you are older than me.
No.
You can look young. You can look young with dreads. You just don't look young.
Hurtful. Hurtful. If this came from anybody else, Chill, I'd be sad. But it's you.
I mean, listen, I just keeps it real.
You are my arch enemy.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
You, sir, are my arch enemy, so I don't listen to you.
That's fair.
Fair. All right, boys. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Once again, make sure to like and subscribe on the way out, and we will see you all on the next one. Good luck with those tournament lineups this week, and we're going to close up the shop and see you all, of course, at the top. Peace.